Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 43 of Red Dirt and Stardust, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Western and Pirate science fantasy campaign. Where last we left off, the group members fought, fought a bunch of floating weapons and suits of armor and things inside of a giant safe. They then spent quite a bit of time divvying up the magical artifacts that lay within. They then tried to explore the castle to find where the rock might be and debated on whether or not they wanted to take the castle home with them. Finally, making their way down to the rock's nest and calling the rock with a song, the group of dragon riders, led by Deacon Hubbard, arrived. And as Chauncey and Adrien went to get a leg of goose for the rock to continue being friends with it, they met up. The dragon rider had brought a few of his friends with them and ended up meeting up at the rock's lair. So we begin as the group of dragon riders is descending the stairs with the goose leg that this rock is already very excited for. Um, and they make it to the base of the stairs. Well, it's a good thing that Mayor Vaughn sent all y'all to help out. Um, so, anything else you discovered about this castle? It seems this is where the rock problem is. Um, I heard about it a bit when we landed at Alpine Springs for a quick rest. Um,
Well, I think we got that all pretty much sorted out at this point. But
well, that is good. Do you all have a way to get back down to Alpine Springs?
Adrian whispers to Jedidiah, "We're about to be. We're about to."
um, it's just we might need a little assistance on that department.
All right. Well, we do have our dragons, seeing as how
Right.
Juanita
Where are
over
they right
here,
now?
and they are out front in that courtyard with the reflecting pool. Kind of left them there. Enough space to kind
Gotcha.
of wander around, stretch out a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
Now, you look real familiar. Do we know each other?
I don't think so.
Name's Virgil. Virgil Buchanan.
I've heard of you, but I don't think I've met you before.
No, it's a shame. It's a shame you have a better memory, is what I really mean.
Oh,
It's are we doing it now?
No, you and I know each other pretty darn well, I'd say, actually. Well, I know you at the very least. And
I'm a bit confused. Care to
well,
elaborate?
when was the last time you were in Drake's Ridge? You haven't been there for quite some time.
I've been in and out for a few years.
And what was it that drove you away in the first place?
Mainly just dragon riding business here and there.
No inciting event made you want to leave?
Not really.
Something dark in that pristine little past of yours you're hiding away?
And it kind of looks. I I I didn't think you were there. You must have been real young.
Oh, I was, but there were some important people that night. One important person was lost forever.
You're
A good friend of yours, I heard.
you're talking about Jonathan Alastor.
I am indeed.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened.
It
It
shouldn't have
was.
happened. And regale me with what that could possibly mean.
I wasn't expecting Father Hale to whip up such a frenzy. I thought they were going to take care of it quietly, have a conversation with him, maybe provide him with some reading materials or other things to get him back on the right path. I wasn't expecting them to whip up a mob and have him executed by publicly.
Really? You, I've heard a lot about you growing up, but one of the things I never thought I would peg you as is stupid. You really thought Father Hale wouldn't go on and take that man and do all the horrible things he did after all the other horrible things he's done? And I know you know even more than I do about what Father Hale has done.
I guess I just thought this time would be different.
Well, you're more of a fool than I ever thought you were. You ruined my life. You ruined a lot of people's lives that night. How dare you mourn him, Jonathan? How dare you say that you didn't think this is where it would go? You don't deserve any sort of forgiveness or mercy. You are a monster. And I'm going to do with you what I do with every other monster. I want to cast Hypnotic Pattern on their group.
All right.
Are we doing it now? Is it now?
All right. So what saving throw is it?
Wisdom, DC 17.
All right. So he gets an 18. Juanita only gets a 16. And the little gnome is immune to the charm effect.
Damn.
So it looks like only Juanita is charmed by your hypnotic pattern.
Yeah. Motes of fire swirl around them and hypnotize Juanita.
Can I silvery barbs the one that passed?
Oh yeah.
Deacon Hubbard, yes. Oh, he actually made it by more because I forgot he has a bonus for wisdom. He gets a 17.
That's my jam.
Meets it, beats it.
All right. Advantage to Chauncey.
All right. And have you left your Virgil disguise?
Yeah, I think as I do that, as I cast that spell, I'll drop it. And I'll scream, "You ruined my life and destroyed my family. I am Jedidiah, Alastor. I'm here to kill you."
He just kind of looks in shock for a moment. But Alberth, the little gnome, kind of jumps up in front of him with his hurdy-gurdy and begins spinning the crank on the hurdy-gurdy, and it crackles with lightning. All right, let's fuck him up. And I guess I need everybody to roll initiative.
Okay. Roll.
I've already rolled
God,
initiative
please.
for all the creatures.
6.
6 for Adrien.
21.
21 for Chauncey.
17 for Lyla.
17 for Lyla. Well, I guess
Valacar. For Valacar, yeah.
And Jed, what did Jed get?
Get that a little bit, 1 second. I got a 10.
Only a 10. All right. So it looks like first up is Chauncey. You see in front of you is Deacon Hubbard staring in disbelief at Jedidiah, Juanita staring off into space, probably about 10 feet back from them, and Alberth in front of Deacon Hubbard, spinning the crank on his hurdy-gurdy, shooting lightning. What would you like to do?
So Chauncey had a few moral, he's like, whoa. But like, we'll process, like many things in Chauncey's life, we're going to process the moral and emotional impact of these events after the fact. Mm-hmm. I'm going to charge at the fucking little gnome and I'm going to swing at him.
All right.
And I got silvery barbs, so advantage.
Yes.
25 to hit.
Good lord. Yeah, that hits.
And do I need to divide out any of my damage?
No.
That is going to be... Ooh, I got a few sixes in this roll.
He
That's
is, however, going to use his own thing, but it doesn't affect the hit, it affects the damage. So
23 damage.
23 damage.
Uh-huh.
As he just screams with this, it almost thrums with some kind of power as his eyes, he blinks and they're dragon eyes, as he says, "We're gonna fuck you up." And something happens where you almost hesitate a little bit as the hammer slams into him, lessening the damage that he takes. So 23, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right.
I'm gonna use bonus or extra attack on the gnome.
Of course you are.
26 to hit.
That'll hit. And he can't do anything about the damage.
Oh, I rolled a bunch of ones on this one, so he's not going to take nearly as much. He's going to take 14 points of damage.
Good lord. He is not doing so hot.
And I'm
Black
gonna have...
eye, singed skin everywhere. His hurdy-gurdy has a crack in it. It's making a very sad and mournful sound, but it's still crackling with lightning.
Chauncey's just like, I am kind of sorry about this. And Taily Poe is flying behind and shoots a force dart at the little gnome.
All right.
Nat 20 again. Jesus Christ, Taily.
Nice.
That's a D4. That'll do 4 points of damage.
It deals at least 4 points of damage. It actually
Yeah,
does...
dart goes clean through his head and he falls down. Didn't even get to do anything this combat encounter. This creature had very few hit points. Poor Alberth didn't even get to fight.
Oh my god.
A force dart right as he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Right in between the eyes, in the forehead.
Yeah, it's bizarre. You watch as he blinks and the dragon eyes are pointed in two separate directions as he just falls backwards. His hurdy-gurdy coming to a horrible stop. It crackles with lightning for a moment and then stops.
Chauncey's just gonna raise his... He's in mid-combat mode now, right in front of this guy, and he's like, you're next. But that's all I can do. Lovey May's up front with me. Note, she does... If she isn't the one attacking, she takes the dodge action and can still use her reaction. So any attacks made against her have disadvantage because she didn't attack this round.
All right. Next up is going to be Deacon Hubbard, who just kind of stares in shock and just turns back to you, Jed. And at first he's kind of defensive, but then he just lowers his hands. There's nothing I can do that can make up for what happened to your family.
Goddamn fucking right there isn't.
At this rate, all I have to say is, I understand. And he just stretches out his arms with no weapon in it and just stands there, staring at you. Juanita, of course, is just still pretty in the background. And he's actually going to end his turn. Which means that next up is Lyla, followed by Juanita, who I don't know if she gets a saving throw at the end of her turn, but...
she does.
Okay, so Lyla, Valakar, followed by Juanita.
See, that's the fucked up bit, whereas Lyla would have huge reservations about attacking a guy who just dropped his weapon.
He didn't drop his weapon. He is not reaching for it and just stretching his arms out, being like, do what you need to do. I don't blame you.
Point being, we're not Lyla, and he doesn't have those reservations, so he's gonna Hex Eldritch Blast.
Oh, Hex Eldritch Blast. Hex doesn't have a saving throw, does it?
It do not.
All right.
It just happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we will... 15?
15 hits.
Okay, all right, I'll take it.
He's more of a ranger type, so he's not wearing a lot of armor.
Word, so that is 10 plus total of 12.
Mm-hmm.
Total of 12. And yeah, Valakar, how far away is this guy?
Depending on where you are in the room, I'm probably going to say maybe 30 feet.
Cool. I'm gonna run up to him after the Eldritch Blast. But oh, okay. Actually, since Speak with Animals is still up and speaking is a free action, Valakar is gonna address the rock and say something to the tune of, "Hey, Bird, I think I heard these guys say they were trying to make off with your goose meat." Figured I'd throw that out there.
Question, is tongues still up?
It is. It lasts for an hour and is not concentration.
All right. I'm going to make a wisdom check for the bird to see if it does anything.
Okay.
It blinks confusedly and looks at the goose leg lying on the ground and then back to you. And it's not its turn yet, so it doesn't move.
It was worth a shot, yeah.
All right. Then I guess after Valakar is Juanita, who gets to make a saving throw.
Yep, DC 17 Wisdom.
That's an 11. She is still hypnotized by whatever being projected onto the back of her head. So that is the end of her turn. And after that is going to be you, Jed, followed by the rock, and then Adrien.
All right. And Jed's just in a bit of a rage right now, so he's just gonna cast a guiding bolt at this guy.
All right.
That is a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is 23, actually 28 radiant damage. And I'm gonna be like starting to like float into the air on my new boots. I don't want to look all sick and creepy and like there's fire radiating around me.
Uh-huh.
And I'll quicken a firebolt at him also.
Cool.
So that'll be it's a 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
He's gonna take
2 damage.
20 fire damage.
Jesus. He is not looking too
And I'm
hot.
just, I start like floating all crazy like, and there's this fire all around me. And I'm just gonna it's like, this is for my brother and my father and my mother who took us. And just like a long monologue of
Yeah. He does not respond. He clearly has a pained look. He's no longer has his arms out. He's like doubled over in pain, but he is still not moving and not doing anything. So next up is the Rock, who goes for the goose leg. And that's his turn. And now it is Adrien's turn before we go back up to the top with Chauncey.
Damn it.
Okay, I am going to, screw it. I want to use it. I'm going to animate dead on the gnome.
Animate dead on the gnome. Okay.
All right, do it.
How long does it take to cast Animate Dead?
Instantaneous.
No, what is the casting time?
Like action, bonus action.
Gods.
Should be an action, right?
Casting time on Animate Dead is 1 minute. You have to do it outside of combat.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, you
Why
can
do
do it
I
in
even
combat,
bother?
but it's just going to take 10 rounds of combat to do it.
Why do I bother
There's
planning things?
there's an in combat reanimation spell called Dance Macabre, but it's a higher level. But you
It
get
is
to
significantly higher level. It's like
you get
5th
to reanimate
level or
6
something.
corpses at once instead of 1.
Yes.
Night.
Okay. I'm just going to witch bolt what's his face?
Deacon Hubbard.
Yeah.
All right. Roll that attack roll.
For Christ's sakes, that's a 13.
Unfortunately, that does miss. As he is doubled over in pain, you try and hit him in the head, but his head just ducks under, swaying, and it ricochets off the stairs.
You know what? I'm gonna send no. Just whatever. It's whatever.
All right. So we are back up to the top with Chauncey.
Jed, am I leaving him for you?
Yeah, I get you like he's mine.
So Chauncey and Lovey May just completely swerve around him, and he's like, no witnesses, I guess. Attack this incapacitated woman. So is it advantage when she's incapacitated under hypnotic pattern or anything, or no?
Yeah, I think it counts as stunned, if I'm right.
Incapacitated. Can't take
It counts as
actions or
something.
reactions.
Hypnotic pattern is.
I think they technically count as charmed, and their speed is 0.
It says the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0.
Oh, incapacitated.
Oh, so the attacks do not get advantage against it. It just doesn't get
R.I.P.
Oh no, I'm trying to
Creature can't take actions or reactions, so yeah, no advantage.
How's a 22 against her AC?
Oh yeah, that hits. And given your damage, there is a world in which you just straight up kill her.
18 points of damage on the first hit.
All right.
I don't think she's charmed anymore.
No, that does end the charm, yeah.
As you just come in with the hammer, it feels kind of bad because she looks up and just states offhandedly, almost as if she's at a picnic, "Oh, such pretty colors." Crunch as the hammer just goes directly into her face.
I mean, before she even has time to really react, I'm bringing the extra attack around.
Bringing the pain.
26 to hit.
That'll hit.
Lower damage roll, of course. 13 points of damage on that hit.
All right, so she is not quite dead, but she
Lovey May is
in
gonna
pain.
give a kick.
Cool.
Bonus action.
While she's down.
23 to hit.
That'll hit.
She's gonna take 7 points of force damage off the kick.
That is not enough to kill her. She screams as she's fumbling for her sword, but unfortunately, it is not her turn yet. Because it looks like it is, it's Deacon Hubbard's turn. But Deacon Hubbard is going to pass his turn. He's not going to do anything about it. Yeah, he's not going to do anything. He's just going to stand there. And now it is Juanita's turn. Oh, actually, no, it is Valakar's turn first, and then it's Juanita's turn.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess if we're saving Deacon for the angry glowing fire guy, then let's see what we got here. Yeah.
Saving him for Carrie.
I guess I'll save some spell slots. I could Thorn Whip her. Yeah.
I think you ran up to Deacon Hubbard, so if you want to just run up to Juanita herself, you could.
It's not like he's gonna opportunity attack me.
Nope, probably not.
Yeah, I guess we'll do that, and then actually, yeah, we'll shillelagh her instead, and then just beat her in the face with a club.
All right, go ahead.
Nope. No, sir. That's a 12. It's 12 to hit.
That does not hit.
I didn't
as
think
it
would.
sort of bounces off of her surprising amount of armor that she has.
Yep, just
Oh, and you only get one attack.
Yep, just go hang out here with my dick in my hand.
You're right up there with me, though.
Um,
Oh wait, I have a bonus action. Bardic Inspiration.
all right, who's getting
Uh,
Bardic inspired?
you know what? We're gonna give it to Jed so he can
Hell
use
yeah.
it on his spell damage.
Oh, true, because I was about to say he has advantage because of the guiding bolt. Um,
Yep.
that he cast.
Yeah. We'll give him the satisfaction of just like obliterating him into tiny little pieces.
So Juanita, of course, um, yep, she's gonna try and go for Chauncey. Just because she took the most amount of damage from his hammer to her face. So she's gonna make 3 attacks.
Oof.
She pulls out her short sword and does 2 swings with it. She's probably not gonna hit you. Oh, maybe she will. 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
Mhm. So
That is a 2, so she misses, and then she pulls out a hand axe and swings. She's screaming this whole time.
The
Jesus.
hand axe hit. Lovey May's gonna kick at the hand axe to give her disadvantage on the attack.
She doesn't need disadvantage because she rolled a 2.
Word.
So you're only
These are
taking
the Dragon Riders? Why do they suck?
Mhm.
they must be newbies. God,
It's the
okay.
dragons that do most of the work.
Yeah. More dragon,
You
less
take
fighter.
7 points of piercing damage as she swipes at you once, smacks into your shield, and smacks into your armor with the other one, just screaming bloody murder as she's basically a sneeze away from death.
Oh,
Um,
no.
so now, yep, we go to Jed, followed by the Rock, followed by Adrien.
Cool. I think Jed's angry to begin with, and it's getting him even angrier that he's not fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think he's still like rising in the air, surrounded by flames and shit. Um, and he's gonna summon. Wait, do I have any? I don't have any third level slots left, so I'm not gonna summon my Shadow Spawn.
Unfortunately.
And um, I think I'm just gonna like through gritted teeth just scream like, "Fight back! Why won't you? I want you to fight back so you can feel how he felt that night, how he was trying to defend his family, and you betrayed him."
He's just going to stare back at you, tears in his eyes, and he just says, I hope this brings you peace, and still doesn't do anything.
One of
Jesus.
Lila's tears just squeezes out of Alicar's eyeball.
Uh,
Um. Hmm.
So what's
That's
Jed doing?
that's a
Did he use his
toughie.
action to monologue?
Yeah.
I think Jed is conflicted a little bit now.
No shit.
Um, but this is something he's been like working towards for a
Uh-huh.
while. And
Uh-huh.
so, but what do I do? What does Jed want to do? I don't. You like what? I think he's like mid like summoning a firebolt in his hand, and I think
Turn his ass to
for
ash.
like one brief moment, he'll look at Chauncey,
Uh-huh.
and I think Chauncey will see like I think from the angle that Jed was at, just like all scary up there. At first, it looks like he's just like angrily sneering, but when he looks at Chauncey, I think Chauncey can see he's actually like crying. Um,
Would not
and
be
I,
surprised.
and I think Chauncey sees a little moment of Jed like kind of looking at Chauncey like asking for permission almost, or like looking like, should I do this? Like I'm he looks like he's struggling.
wait, I have to give you permission to kill this?
Not literally, but like
Oh,
he's looking at Chauncey and I don't know, he has some sort of he has for something. He's
he's
looking at
asking
Chauncey
for
for
help,
something.
man. Like,
So, like, okay, this is a very specific reference to media, but is everyone familiar with Final Fantasy X-2?
No.
Not
No.
really.
Okay, never mind. There's a scene where two characters are about to get gunned down by guards and they're dating and they look at each other. And like the girl gives the guy just like this very remorseful, I love you, this sucks, but what else can we do? Look. And that's kind of just the look in Chauncey's eye. Like you've gone so far at this point. What do you I've already killed one of them, and this one's almost dead too.
As you see
I mean,
Chauncey's hammer covered in blood, the gnome being
Dripping.
flattened on the
Wait for
pavement.
hesitation there, bud.
So yeah, I'm gonna say act now or you're passing your turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a firebolt at him.
All right. Roll that damage. Well, roll to attack and then roll that damage because you're probably going to hit him.
I rolled quite bad.
Oh.
I have advantage from
Oh, yeah.
myself.
From yourself.
Bardic
That's a
Inspiration, too.
21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And that is 8 damage.
You can add your
Uh,
if you want.
You can add your bardic to the damage if you want, because
It's
I'm gonna
fine.
say 8 doesn't kill him. I don't know if that's gonna change anything. But
No,
yeah,
that's fine.
All
I
right.
don't have any more sorcery points, so that's my turn.
all right. So he's still standing there. And then Adrien, what you doing?
So the guy's still alive?
The guy is still alive, and so is the elf lady, but the gnome is dead. The gnome didn't even get to act.
Okay, you know what? I am just going to what is how when you cast a spell using a spell slot, blah blah blah. Oh, so it shadow puppets, that's only like one shadow, right?
I'm not familiar with the shadow puppet spell.
You animate the shadow of a creature within range, causing it to attack the creature as a bonus action when you cast the spell, or subsequent rounds while you maintain the concentration, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to shadow puppet the elf lady.
All right. Does she need to make a save or do you need to make an attack roll?
Well,
I believe I need to make a attack roll.
All right, roll it.
All right, that is going to be a 19.
That'll hit. How much damage?
That is going to be 23 damage.
Good Lord. Yeah, so you watch as Adrien points at Juanita's shadow and it peels itself off the ground and just runs its claws down her back as she screams and then collapses to the ground, the shadow melting back into the floor. She is dead. There is still only Deacon Hubbard left. And we're going to go back up to the top with Chauncey.
Jed's crying. It looks like he's holding back on his spells at this point, and Chauncey's just like, what do I do? And then he's just like, a part of him just knows what he's gonna do, what he has to do. Like, the less blood that gets on Jed's hands, the better, and he's already bathing in it at this point. So I'm going to Misty Step because it's more theatric that way.
Mhm.
Out of bats right behind him, and I'm gonna bite this man
All right.
from behind, like do the classic, like into the back, from the side, back of the neck.
All right. Roll that attack.
All right. What is my bite? Oh, my bite's way worse than a hammer attack. That's only a 13 to hit.
Unfortunately, that does not hit. You bite where you think his neck is, but your fang sinks into leather and you pull out just bleh.
Fine. I'm gonna, with my extra attack, I'm gonna attack with my fucking hammer.
This poor guy's just waiting to die.
26 to hit.
That'll hit. Can you do 7 points of damage?
I roll 4d6, and one of them is a 6, one of them's a 5 before any of my other modifiers.
You crush him. He is completely and utterly dead. And I think at this point, after all of the hullabaloo and ruckus, I'm going to make a check. Yeah, the rock at this point in the battle has flown the coop and is just off into the clouds. There's too much violence around it. It doesn't need this at this point. It was just trying to eat. It's gone. You are now alone. All of you are now alone in this roost with 3 dead corpses.
Great, as if we need to wait in a corpse yard for this rock to come back.
Valakar, after everybody's dead, he just like walks over to Jed. He's gonna put his hand on his back, clap him once or twice, and go, "Well, you want to piss on him?"
I think
Good Lord.
Jed just like he slowly descends to the ground, and Valakar comes up and slaps him.
Make sure you mark off a minute on your time on the winged boots, because I think it works in minute-long increments.
Oh, word.
I think it's like 4 hours it has.
Yeah, but it works in 1-minute increments for calculating time spent with the boots in the air.
Like it runs out at
It
after
charges
you use up
back.
all the minutes.
Yeah. So basically, you get 4 hours of flight time. So it's
Oh.
not like you get 4 hours of fly speed. You can
Yeah.
use it in bursts. So if you use it to like fly up to a tower and then just land on the tower, it takes like 2 rounds or something. It marks it as a minute of time usage. So you're not trying to figure out like, I spent 15 seconds doing this and 45 seconds doing that. So it does it in minute-long increments. So if you think you're going to use the boots again, just mark off a minute. You have 3 hours and 59 minutes left of flight. It's stupid, but you used it for like what, 6 seconds?
Something.
Right.
Yeah, Jed's gonna he looks very like out of it and like a little shell shocked, I think. And then they like slap him and he's like, "You want to piss on?" And Jed's just like he doesn't even know how to respond to that.
Well, it's not my place, so
yeah. And I think he just kind of like stands there for a while.
As the wind howls outside.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're riding their dragons home, or
I thought we still had to deal with the Thunderbird.
fucking thing left.
Chauncey's gonna investigate the bodies. Why not?
Okay, sure. You don't really find anything interesting on them. The hurdy-gurdy is damaged, but you get the sense that this was a focus. The gnome was probably casting spells through the hurdy-gurdy. The hurdy-gurdy itself was not necessarily magical beyond it being a focus. You do notice that the short sword and the axe that Juanita has, it looks like you're kind of unclear on whether this is actually just a gemstone or if it's some sort of illusion or if it's glass or something, but the pommel of the sword as well as the gem in the crossguard is obviously a sapphire, but the entire blade of the axe also looks like it's made out of sapphire, and the rest of the blades look like they're made out of either steel or silver or some sort of silvery metal.
Check those later with some magic, but should we? I mean, Jed's looking shell-shocked. The bird's flown the coop. Chauncey's just gonna be like, why don't we take a rest for a bit? This has been an extremely long day.
Yeah, I think Jed turns and looks at Chauncey, and I don't know what Chauncey would read from his expression, really. Maybe like a little fear from Chauncey, maybe a little like understanding. It was a very tense situation, and Jed just kind of like, has a very strange glance towards Chauncey and then nods his head and starts to walk out of the room.
Once he leaves, Chauncey's like, I'll talk to him later. Um, oh, that was. I'm gonna look at Valakar and Adrian like, those were dragon riders.
Eh, not very impressive. Didn't even have much meat on them.
Oh, we could feed them to the rock.
Go find the goddamn thing.
I think. What do you say, Adrian? Let's. I think we should bunker down, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Valacar, by the way. I live in here with Lyla. It's not a big deal.
Interesting. Later, uh, but yes, I guess we should start a fire, anchor down.
We almost just did.
Okay.
I will
Let's.
say the if you are looking for a long rest, there is of course the bedrooms, but the beds are like 20
Huge.
feet long. But there is definitely a fireplace in the tea room, 2 floors above you, as well as plenty of like couches and chairs and things like that. They're definitely big enough for you all to curl up on and kind of have a sleep. There's not any blankets, but they are at least soft, and with a fire in a fireplace that big, probably the room would be pretty warm.
We also have our own bedrolls and stuff from traveling, so we could set camp on top of some giant's bed. Be softer than sleeping on the ground.
True, you
But
could.
yeah, I'm definitely at some point gonna try to pull Jed aside whenever we are getting ready to bunker down, or I'm gonna go chase him. Whatever. I'm just like, just give us a minute or the rest of
Mhm.
the night. I don't know. Sorry, but yeah, I'm gonna go find him.
As you are running to go find Jed, you hear a voice in your head. This voice is Caleb Alstor's voice. It's a sending spell, and it's just, where the fuck is Jed? Why isn't he answering? No, not Jed, sorry.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Virgil? Why isn't he answering the sending spells? Birdie is vomiting blood, and that's it. And you just get that in the back of your head as you're running to Jed to comfort him.
Put a pin in that for later. This is my least favorite of the Alastor family. So like we'll talk about him. Okay, fuck off, Caleb. Yeah, I'm gonna go hunt down Jed.
All right. All right. So where is Jed?
Um, I think he heard them talking about like, oh, we're gonna like bunker down for the night. I think he started to like walk towards the bedrooms, thinking that'd probably be where, but then I think he just like walks by them and is just sort of like aimlessly wandering the halls.
All right. Yeah, up in the bedrooms, I'm assuming, just like wandering around the bedrooms.
Not in the bedroom, but like in a hallway. But yeah, he's just one of my habits that I do is whenever I'm like sad, I just like walk and just like
Um,
keep walking until I decide to
question,
stop.
question.
Uh-huh.
Um, so are we doing the long rest?
I think that's the plan.
Eventually, we're just kind of meandering our way through character moments before we bed down. But yes, you all will be getting a long rest.
Okay, God, because I have a ability. Uh, nope, that's not it. Oh, there we go. Consume mind.
Consume
Okay.
mind. What ability is that? I have.
Essentially, to break it down, but I can literally consume the brain of another creature, and until the spell ends, you can attempt to recall any important facts known to the creature, family history, recent events, building layouts, passwords, details of the creature's death,
What
and
is this
similar
from?
information. Layers of Atharis.
Is that a spell?
Yes, it's fourth level necromancy.
All right. I wasn't aware you had a fourth level spell slot left. All
Well,
right, so
I think he only cast one fourth level spell.
no, I have two fourth level slots, and I didn't use any of them.
You had to have used one on Shadow Puppets, otherwise you couldn't have dealt 23 damage with it.
No, I cast that at third level.
You couldn't have hit with 23 damage then, because that's only 3d6.
It's 3d12. 3d8.
Right. Oh, yeah, no, you're good. Okay. Yeah. No, yeah.
okay, yep.
Only, so he still has a fourth level, yeah.
All right. So who you eating and what you looking for?
Let's see. First, I got to unprepare a spell. Spell book, blah, blah, blah.
So that'll be after the long rest. If you're
Yes.
okay, so you all go for the long rest and then you're gonna get it. So we'll do the character moments, have the long rest, and then you'll do what you need to do.
Yep. Um, so after the long rest, I'm assuming no one else has anything left to do.
I think we're still working through a moment with Jed and
Oh, I am so
Chauncey.
sorry.
You just I was like, where is this? Okay, so
Okay. So
unless
I'm gonna-
anybody has anything else, we'll get through Jed and Chauncey's stuff. We'll deal with the long rest, and then you'll eat someone's brain.
Yeah.
Um,
I-
if we can pick back up, I'd like to find Jed wandering the halls.
Yep, you find Jed wandering the halls of the bedroom. The bedroom doors open. You just still see tons of paintings of giants holding geese and giants frolicking in fields with geese. Lots of giants and lots of geese.
So yeah, Chauncey's just once he. I don't know if Jed's turned towards him or away from him, but he's just gonna make the beeline for him.
I think he's looking away. I think he'll notice you come in. You notice like he glances and then like looks away again.
Hey, I'm here, Jed. And he's just gonna like come up and just stand next to him.
I think I've found myself at like a window where I can like, look outside and like wistfully looking at the clouds around us. Um and like, you're here. That it didn't go how I thought it would.
I don't think it went how anybody thought it would. How does that make you feel?
I don't know right now. I went my whole life hating him so much. And now I don't know anymore. I ran I thought through that scenario probably at least once a day since I was a kid.
I remember.
And every time I thought about it, I never thought it would happen like that. I'm just standing there, accepting his fate, I guess. What a fucking asshole. You don't get to be the good guy. You don't get to act all redeemed and good after you ruined my life. But then I couldn't even do it. Right at the end, he was just standing there, and I just started thinking, is he doesn't even look scared. He's just ready. This isn't what I wanted. This isn't how I wanted it to happen. I wanted him to be scared, like my dad was. I couldn't I couldn't do it at the end, and I don't really even know why right now, but then you did it. And at first I was mad, but then I think I think you realized before I did that I wasn't sure, and I don't know if I could have done what I needed to do without you.
He's been quiet the entire time, just letting Jed vent, and he's just gonna, I don't know if it needs a sleight of hand check or not, but he's just gonna like interlace his fingers with his real quick
Yeah.
and just squeeze.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you make a check for that. Unless Jed
I'm
is going
gonna
to try
make
and
you
pull
make
out of the
check for
way.
that. No, yeah,
Unless Jed is pulling away, you
Jed's
don't need a
definitely
check.
looking for some reassurance in this moment. So, um,
Oh, Jed. I I saw, I mean, you were crying up there, and it wasn't, you used to tell me we were kids, but you dreamt about glorious battles and retribution and fires of justice and fury, and that wasn't that.
no, it
That
wasn't.
no. That was me putting an old regretting man out of his misery so you wouldn't have to. And I'll do it again if I have to. Because
Why?
why did I do that, or why would I do it again?
Both you, out of everyone in this party, when Shaw isn't around, at least, have the strongest moral code out of all of us.
Oh, Chad.
And even I can recognize the moral ambiguity of that situation. I'm not doing this because I'm a good person. I'm not doing this for good reasons, Chauncey.
Chad, he kind of just looks away and you don't give yourself nearly enough credit sometimes. You wouldn't, I don't know what you remember or don't remember anymore, but from the first day I met you, you were saving me from things. And I've just been trying to return the favor. And I thought if I could stop you from doing that, I would do it. I've already made more than enough mistakes in my life, and I'll keep making them if I have to.
This did make me miss the old days a little. Now that it's done, it's final. I can't change the story in my head anymore of how it went. Makes me miss the days of us running around in Crater's Hollow, fantasizing about what it could have been.
You want to know the sad part? Sometimes I think, what could it have been like if we had just stayed there?
Yeah, I think about that a lot too. But I can't ignore what happened.
Not asking.
Thank you for helping me today, but I need to be able to do this for myself soon.
Can you do that? It's one thing for them, but are you going to go through with the rest of it?
I have to. I've already come this far, and I'm not done yet. And the next time I have to be able to, even if it's not going how I wanted it to, I have to be able to finish it.
Like, he's not gonna say it out loud before of Chauncey's like, he couldn't, one of the two people he found most responsible for what happened, he couldn't bring himself to do it, so he's not nearly as irredeemable as Jed thinks he is inside. That's kind of the thought processes Chauncey's going through, but he's just like,
Mhm.
he's just gonna squeeze your hand again and be like, I promised you when we were 10, I promised you when we were 16, and I promised you a few weeks ago. Above game, how long has it been since we found out? I don't remember. We'll
I
say a
feel like
few.
it was a few weeks. Yeah, because you were out on because you did that when you were on when you first got on the Sheldrake back
Yeah.
in Turtle Shell Key before you left, and it was basically a month that you all were out on the Astral Sea. So it's been 5 to 6, maybe 7 weeks since that last promise.
Yeah. And I promised you a few weeks ago that I was gonna help you. Jed, I told you that I was responsible for an entire town dying, and you didn't turn your back on me, so I'm not going to turn my back on you now. I never turn my back on you.
I think Jet just kind of stays quiet and then just like leans his head against Chauncey and maybe can kind of just stare out into the clouds for a while until they decide to go to bed.
All right.
Hmm.
So where are you all bedding down?
In the bird nest.
We walk back in, I guess, the bedroom area is where we're all gonna be sleeping. I want to be like
Maybe
getting
do
ready
the
for bed, and Jed's gonna be like,
hash.
"Oh, so Valakar, welcome back. How long will you be with us?"
Depends on how long my presence is irritating for you.
But we'll have to find that out together, won't we?
Sounds like it. Looking forward to
We should do that hashtag sleeping arrangement.
it.
We should probably. I didn't want to. Oh, fuck. I got a sending spell a little bit ago, but it didn't feel the time to bring it up. We should probably get back to Creator's Hollow soon.
Drake's
Caleb's
Ridge.
Drake's Ridge.
Bridge. Chauncey's Creator's Hollow is on the
Yeah.
brain for
Yeah,
him.
of course.
Because also, like, Jed just agreed, sometimes he also thinks about what it could have been. And it's just like, insert that everything,
Yeah.
everywhere, all at once quote about doing laundry together. Uh, so
It's
Chauncey's
like
just like,
the purple elephant.
yeah. Um, Birdie's vomiting blood, and Caleb's pissed because Virgil's not responding to his sending spells.
God fucking damn it. Oh, great. Great. Fuck am I gonna do about Caleb? I've tried to be nice. I've tried. I really have. He's such a dick.
He doesn't know you're his brother.
Yeah, I know, but if he found out, he would instantly turn me into Father Hale. I've tried to chip away at him, but he is such an incessant prick all the time.
I might have something that could help, but after we rest.
You got something that can help with incessant pricks?
Um, I mean,
Sounds like more Lila's bag.
I,
That was pretty good. That was a pretty good one.
Chauncey just gives a small snicker at Valakar, shading his own like body twin.
Jed makes a mental note. Is Valakar funny?
I actually have several ways to deal with pricks, but that's a different story.
Right. I mean, I'm willing to try anything on that kid right now. So if you want to try fucking my brother, go for it.
Wow. I mean, All.
All
Uh,
right. So you
okay.
all eventually, I guess somehow, do you put up the dome or do you just
I mean,
do you
I
need
don't
the
think we need the
dome?
dome right now, right?
You don't know.
Oh,
I'll
also,
put up alarm spells around. I can do that.
Cool. Okay.
if we were taking a long rest to begin with, what was the whole issue with the spell slots?
I didn't know if you were trying to cast it like
Like before
Oh,
or
no,
right
no, no.
then.
I had to switch spell slots, which I can
So
only do after a
that's
long
yeah,
rest.
okay. We had gotten to that point after I was confused about the spell
yeah,
slot. So now
yeah.
that that's happened,
Yeah.
okay. Um, yeah. So you all bed down for a long rest. It is not the most fitful long rest, as you all are slightly traumatized by what has just happened. Jed, in particular, just seeing the face of Deacon Hubbard directly telling you, I hope this brings you peace.
Yeah.
Various points in the night that you just jolt awake.
Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare.
You almost pray for Mazarendael to come to you, to tell you that you did good, to tell you that you're
Yeah.
justified in your anger, to tell you anything to make you feel better, but he does not. It is just a night of nightmares.
Now you're quiet. Great.
Lyla, because it is going to be Lyla,
Hmm.
you find yourself in a very strange place. A completely black expanse filled with lovely little tables. Seems to
Okay.
be a 10 by 10-foot square, almost like a checkerboard, across this almost endless expanse, each lit by a single spotlight, with
A bottle on it that say "drink me" or what?
a rug, a table, chairs, a potted plant, maybe at one or multiple corners. And you sit down at one of these tables. There's almost like lounge jazz playing from somewhere, everywhere, nowhere. And you watch as the chair opposite you at the table you've just sat down pulls itself back, and a goblin gets up on the chair. He wears a very sort of dusty, dirty top hat with a few playing cards stuck into it. It looks like he's missing a finger on one of his hands. He wears a vest with patches all over it as he kind of sits down and pulls out a deck of cards and starts shuffling it. Well, I was told by the master that you'll be coming to visit the House of Cards at some point.
Well, I've told it would be wise to make my way there. Tell me, dear, have you got a light?
Yep. And he pulls out a lighter and lights your cigarette, which you do somehow have. You don't remember pulling it out of anything.
Hmm, it's a dream, whatever.
Yep. And he kind of continues shuffling the cards. Well, I'd advise, I'm currently in Amarillo. I'm sure he told you that, but he doesn't exactly keep tabs on all my whereabouts. I just guard the entrance and pour drinks and, a few other things, I'm not that important. But
Other
if
things.
you really need to find me, I'm gonna park my behind at the Jack of Clubs saloon over in Broken Branch if you want to make your way there.
Hmm. I shall look for your calling card.
All right. Well, it ain't gonna be easy. The master set up a few games for you and your
Hmm.
friends to play. Plenty
Doesn't
of
he tell
prizes
me?
to win.
Ooh. Well, we do love that, don't we?
Yep. Sadly, I can't spoil much more than that.
Well, what would be the fun in that?
True. Well, unless you want to play a game or something, I'm probably just gonna leave you here until you wake up. So,
Oh, what were you looking forward to getting your ass kicked?
You'd
Shuffle,
be
shuffle.
surprised. You'd be surprised. So I guess we'll do a contested um card game.
Sure, yeah. Why not?
Um I guess it would be like sleight of hand. I guess we'll do just straight intelligence if you want to just play normally, or sleight of hand if you want to try and cheat.
Oh, well, I'm definitely gonna try and cheat. And yeah. I mean, well, no, wait a minute. So if I'm doing a sleight of hand, but I have like proficiency with cards or some shit.
Yeah, so if you
What
don't
does
have
that mean?
proficiency with sleight of hand, I think you would add your proficiency because you're using a
Oh,
tool you're
okay, okay.
proficient with.
So
So
I
if you're not,
already, okay,
okay.
got
Otherwise, you wouldn't add it. If you're already proficient with sleight of hand, you just would use sleight of hand. If you are proficient, oh, uh-oh.
I got 14.
Um, well, he has, because he is, of course, the servant of one of the masters of card games, being the huckster himself, he
Yep.
has a very, very large bonus to
Hmm.
card games. So unfortunately,
I got
he
my
got a
hat.
22.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he, even when you try and cheat, he handily whoops you.
Fantastic.
Hmm.
And at the end of the dream, he kind of gives you a salute and just, well, hopefully you fare better in the games than you did here, but I'll see you when you make your way over. And he gives you a
Thanks.
little salute,
Thank
vanishes, and you kind of sit there for what feels like both hours and moments with the lounge jazz, a drink appearing in your hand before you wake up. And that is the end of the long rest. So now you all wake up. What would you all like to do?
Uh,
Ah, um, we riding these dragons or what?
well, first thing.
Oh,
Um,
you're eating brains. You have
yes,
brain seeds.
Um,
thank you.
How
So
if I
delicious.
I
may, oh, sorry, you go.
so I wake Jedidiah up by shaking his shoulder. Um,
Okay.
I'd like to think that it's almost like you're about to wake up and you see the I hope this brings you peace. Ah! And then Adrien is just in your face shaking you and second
uh,
oh my God.
Adrian, don't do
Gave
that.
me a heart attack. Uh,
What? What is it? Why are you like hovering over me? I was sleep. I also like wake up and I realize I'm like very close to Chauncey as we were sleeping. I'm
Oh
like,
no, Chauncey's arm is over into a
yeah. I'm like, oh,
oh.
moves the arm off of me. Like realizes what that was.
Oh,
Right.
how
You're
heavy of
gonna.
a sleeper does Chauncey have to be? Oh.
Uh,
Shh, shh.
Um, so I have I remember you saying during our little fight that you have other people that you wish to locate. Is that correct?
um, I my next major target is Father Hale, and I know where he is, but um, if you if you have any information to provide about my little vendetta, then I will be happy to hear it.
Well, I don't, but I will.
Okay, what does
Come
that mean?
follow me.
You creepy, creepy man. Like,
Where's what the fuck is he?
He gets
All
up and he
right.
starts walking towards the dead bodies.
So
Jed,
you
like
make your
we're
way
like
down two
walking.
floors.
Jed's here. Jed's like thinking like I know I can be creepy sometimes, but when I'm creepy, I'm like doing it on purpose. But like, this guy just seems like he's just like that. Like,
Well, he is from the city of Bats, which was
yeah,
inherently a creepy place when you
yeah.
pass through it.
True.
All right.
Part of the culture. It's like the Addams family.
Basically, yeah. So I'm going to say, unless somebody has something specific to say, you all walk in eerie silence down 2 flights of stairs through the tea room and the prison before getting to the dead bodies on the floor of the Rock's Nest.
Are we all going down, or is he just taking Jed with him?
Just Jedidiah.
Okay, yeah.
Unless someone wants to
Just,
follow.
Yeah.
Chauncey's rolled over, still half asleep, grumbling.
Nope. Tap. Yeah, I'll just, I guess, yeah, I'll like continue to sleep a little bit. Let's say he got up early to go like suck brains out of a dead guy.
Well, you don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. And I don't care to. That's fine.
All right. So you all make your way down to the Rock's Nest. The Rock has not returned, but the bodies are still there.
Was the guy, I can't remember his name.
Deacon
Deacon
Hubbard?
Hubbard.
Deacon Hubbard. Was his head crushed in?
I think so.
No, I think he was.
He
Well, he
did
was
die
hit by
to
a
a
hammer,
attack,
but
yeah.
I don't think.
Where would Chauncey have hit Deacon Hubbard with the hammer? We'll start with that.
So he was attacking him from behind because he did that failed bite.
Yeah.
So we'll just say that after that failed, he just did a good hard swing at the ribs on the side and shoved part of his rib cage into his heart.
Okay.
Okay. So the head is still intact.
All right. Jedidiah, do you have a knife on you?
Oh,
Let me see. I might. Equipment, inventory. Is there a knife? I do.
Is it the key knife? Is the question. Do you have an extra knife?
I
Or do
just
you
have
the
a
key
regular
knife?
dagger in my inventory, it says.
Okay, because you do have the key, the knife that you pulled out of the.
I'm not gonna give him that.
Yeah, I
That's
was about
mine.
to say, maybe not, but yeah, you just have a regular dagger and you just hand it over.
Okay. Does he hand it over?
Sure. Here?
Adrien grabs the knife and he goes over to Deacon's body and he sits on top of his chest before jiving
Hmm.
the dagger into his skull and just etching away at the crown until it comes off with like a plop.
Nightmare. Absolute nightmare I'm living.
You're gonna have to for cutting that open, you're gonna have to give me like a medicine check or a survival check. Because if you fail, you're damaging the brain.
Let's see. Medicine is okay, so they're both the same thing. I'll just do medicine.
I'll
Come
give
on,
you a
that
guidance.
with
So that'll be a
you're
D4
doing
to
a
the
guidance.
Yeah.
So what does that do again?
It
Yeah,
adds
add
a
a
D4 to the
D4.
roll. So you
Add a
make your
D4?
roll. Yep, add a D4. So you make your D20 roll, and then you add a D4 to that number.
So that is going to be a 15.
All right, I'm going to say that you do not damage the brain.
Yay.
Trying to slowly crack your way into it like you're cutting into a crab. You finally get the skull off. It is not a clean cut. There's a lot of breaks and shatters, and the skull is probably not in a very good
Wonderful.
state.
It's
But the
doing good
brain
things
is
for
not
me.
harmed.
He grabs the crown by the hair and he just flings it to the side.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
This is fine.
And then he pulls out the brain in like a squelching sound, and he's like, "Ah, there you are, my precious."
You do have to cut the spinal cord to get it out. But I'm
Okay.
going to say that that's part of the medicine check. It's, once again, not a clean cut, but it doesn't damage the brain. So there's a bit of spinal cord hanging off of the brain as you pull this brain out.
I'm really hoping that this is like for something and you're not just an absolute freak.
Oh,
Sorry, repeat that.
I said, I really hope this is like actually for something and you're not just an absolute freak. We cannot hear what you're saying.
You've muted yourself.
Your sound is completely off. We can't hear you. Oh, now we can. Okay. Keep going.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. As he he waves Jedidiah off. He gets up on his feet and he just digs into the brain.
Oh, and then you cast Consume Mind. Does it actually say that you need to eat the brain, or?
You
It
consume the brain of
only
another
says you
creature's
consume the
corpse.
brain.
Okay, cool. So, yep, you just chow down on brain. Fun fact, that's actually how people get the version of mad cow disease that cannibals supposedly have. It's specifically the brain. If you eat just the flesh, you're fine. Interestingly enough, no particular reason, just bringing that up. You dig into the brain, you eat the brain. What are you looking for? Because it says you can get like what memories out of it, you said?
Yes, I'm trying to dig into the brain to find memories pertaining to Jedidiah's vendetta against these people that were responsible for his family's death.
So, digging into the brain, you get a lot of memories. You get the memory of Deacon Hubbard appearing at the birth of Jedidiah. You and kind of the shock of some of the people around him as out comes a tiefling from his mom. Um, you then see Deacon Hubbard having a conversation with Father Hale, bringing up concerns about devil worship and perhaps a conversation needs to be had, and that he was going to go and get some materials and other things from a bookstore or something since Drake's Ridge is so far away. You then get a vision of of Deacon Hubbard on his dragon as he's flying over a huge mob with torches and pitchforks, shouting for them to stop. Um, you then see a conversation where he is in the middle of the church late at night, shouting at Father Hale, and punches him in the face. It's very clear they're having an argument about why the hell would you do this? This was so out of line. It could have just been a conversation. We didn't have to escalate it that quickly. Things like that. And he just full on decks Father Hale, lays him out on the church floor. And then you see this man standing over what appears to be a rock, um, in a field somewhere close to Drake's Ridge, and he lays a bouquet of flowers onto it, and then that's all the memories you get.
Hmm. Well, as he says as he's sucking on his fingers, um, I think something you would find great satisfaction in is that uh, your frenemy, Deacon, uh, as they
That's a
say,
word for it, I guess.
when he learned about what Father Hale had done, he actually punched him in the face. Quite hard, actually.
Okay.
Um,
Just like that makes me feel worse.
Yep.
Sorry. Also, do you know where I'm assuming that was his mother's grave or something like that.
My dad's grave.
Um,
I don't think Jed's ever been to his dad's grave.
I don't think Jed knows where his dad's
Yeah.
grave even is,
Oh,
Yeah.
but
um,
Adrien does now.
yay. Also, do you know where your father's grave is?
No, my family fled town and none of us ever came back to look.
Well, as it turns out, thanks to to our little friend over there, I know where it is, and I can show it to you.
Uh, that would actually be that would be very nice of you, Adrien. As as strange of an interaction, and maybe of a person as you are. You're not a bad guy. Um, and I appreciate that.
Pats Jedidiah on the chest with his quasi bloody hand. And he says,
no. None of that now, thanks.
Not that.
and he says,
I
"Don't let me."
prestidigitate the blood off of your hand as you reach towards me.
Adrien just says, "No worries, I'll grow on you."
All right.
Like a tumor.
All right. So after that traumatizing exchange,
actually, your friend actually had one of those on him. So
you also got a memory of a very depressing doctor's visit somewhere.
it's with Chauncey's mom as she very solemnly pats him on the shoulder and goes, "It's probably benign."
God.
Oh,
Terrible.
God. Okay, so after that traumatizing exchange, what are you all doing?
I'm assuming we're going back to Velakar and Chauncey.
Yeah. So I guess once we're all together, like, is our plan to ride those dragons back? Because we did just kill their masters. That might be a little bit of a problem.
Well, how are they supposed to know, honestly?
Dragons are remarkably intelligent creatures, even little ones like these.
Adrien, you have a little bit of
Yeah.
My apologies.
what in the fuck were you doing this?
Chauncey's rubbing sleep out of his eyes still because it's just like,
Mhm.
why did you wake me up like that?
I don't want to know.
It's having such a good dream.
Anyway, yeah, fucking dragons or whatever.
Maybe you can talk to them, Valakar, with your animal talking.
Oh, Christ.
They are dragons, so does anyone speak Draconic?
I can cast. Is it? If they just speak Draconic, I can do
Yeah.
tongues again. Like,
Yeah, do that.
Well, it's more of these ones probably.
No, I don't.
So no one speaks Draconic. Okay, good to know.
Nope.
No one speaks Giant, and no one speaks Draconic. Interesting. Okay.
Should we leave? I mean, I know we were talking about moving the castle with us, but like,
wouldn't that just bring a giant cloud wherever we went?
and it's just a multiple crime scenes at this point. So
It seems like there was sort of like a whole genocide that happened here.
So I say
At
instead,
the very least, a regicide.
so maybe instead of burying a dozen, 15-foot tall corpses, we just
set the place on fire
away. Or that is surprisingly more aggressive than even I was thinking about.
What? No bodies, no crime.
we could just, I mean, right now we're still over the ocean. We could just push them out and drop them
into the water.
Something.
Well, it's not really water. They just fall and then just keep falling until they hit the vortex.
I mean, I know I look strong, but I'm not pushing any of them anywhere. So
yeah.
There is also the problem of they're stuck in the dining room. And the only place directly from the dining room is through the door to the veranda that has a railing that you would then need to push them over, or you would need to drag them out of the dining room through the entry hall, down the 120-foot long garden, and then roll them off the edge. So,
there's a lot of logistical problems with moving the giants around, it seems.
Even spells like levitate wouldn't work all that well because they weigh well over 500 pounds. So if anything, it would make them slightly easier to drag, but...
I mean, We could chop them up first.
Could also.
Do we need this
Why?
castle? Like, do we?
We just go.
I love how we're all like
Okay.
50% we want the castle and 50% what are we gonna do with it?
All right,
The
fine.
vibes.
We can leave
It's a
the
giant
castle.
storm castle that'll make it a fucking nightmare storm wherever we take it. Like,
You do remember you can turn the storm.
at the very
off.
least, it'll make it always cloudy forever. Like, I don't think Drake's Ridge wants to be London. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, the famed city on the
Yeah,
far
of London,
distant
yeah.
of London. Fine. Then let's just, if not the giants, we should at least make sure the dragon riders aren't found here. Then we
toss
can
them in the big bonfire.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
again, or we could just leave him here. And the rock's probably coming back.
Yeah, if we just leave them in the rock's nests, do you think the rock will just eat them?
Probably.
It's quite possible.
And anyone who comes over would just think that the rock killed them.
Good point. I did.
Yeah,
Chauncey's
the
gonna
precision knife work to remove the top part of a skull really indicates a rock eating the.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? We didn't cut anyone's skull open.
Yeah.
He
I'm
just
sorry.
casually licks his lips.
You didn't.
You know what? Again, I feel like it's safer if I don't actually know what that's about.
Yeah, that's for the best.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna go talk to some dragons, I think.
You're gonna talk to some dragons.
I'll go talk to some dragons.
Mhm.
I'd like to not go alone, though, because they are dragons, and we did just kill their masters. And
Fuck it, fine.
I'll come with you. It's fine.
Well, let's all just go.
If you can kill a giant, you can kill a dragon.
I don't know
Something
why
like
that sounded like if you can dodge a wrench, you can
you
dodge.
can talk.
That's the energy Chauncey had.
Like that was what I heard in my head.
Patches O'Houlihan.
Great, now we have to watch that movie again.
All right. So you all make your way slowly through the
Yes.
castle out to the front courtyard where it seems these dragons are still wandering around waiting
They've been very
for
patient,
their
dragons.
masters to come back. Yes. Actually, I would like, if anyone would like to make a nature check, you may.
I'll do
Good.
it. I'm good at nature.
I'll guidance you.
I got a dirty 20.
Let me see.
What are we
With the
doing? Nature?
guidance, it's
Nature.
15. With my modifier, it is a 23.
Hey, I got an 18.
All right. I'm assuming Jed is not making this roll.
I guidanced.
Oh, yes, okay. So actually, the three of you who did make the check would know, looking at these for a moment, the way that they're kind of moving around, the way they're kind of sitting, the way they're like chuffing and making noises. These things are not dragons proper. They look like dragons, but they're not dragons proper. They're actually something called a dragonelle.
Oh,
They are dragon-like. They are sometimes they happen in nature. Sometimes they're created through specific rituals to kind of pull forth from draconic energy, whether it's from their horde or from their body or something to create this thing. But they are basically slightly more intelligent horses, except they're dragons with wings and can fly. They are mentally where horses are at. So they don't talk. They probably don't really give a shit about a lot of things. It's not like you're going to be dealing with something like Fafnir from Gildenrot that you met a few weeks back. Not going to be anything like that. They're basically dragons with horse brains.
Okay.
Cool.
But they
this just became a lot easier.
So it's more of an animal handling check situation than
Yes, yes, it would be more of an animal handling check situation.
All right, where is that?
Are any of us good at that?
I have proficiency at everything, so
Let's see. I
All right, and we
am
could,
not. I am not.
Chauncey, could you enhance ability on Valakar and maybe,
I got an 18.
I could
and
I
I'll
can help
guidance you,
action.
Valakar.
Cool.
I'll help action Valakar. Do it with
Oh my
advantage.
god.
You know what? Now that I think about it, the lousy check that I got is probably for the best because they could probably smell their owner on me.
I got a 23.
All right.
With the
So
fucking
I'm gonna
guidance
say
and the
with that
help
check,
action.
knowing that they are basically glorified horses, they seem a bit confused that their previous masters aren't here.
Shh, it's
Um,
fine. It's
but it's
fine.
very easy to convince them, no, no, we're going to ride you now, and you're going to take us where we need you to go. And they kind of go along with it.
Dance, monkey, dance.
So there are only 3 Dragonelles. There are what,
And they
5 of
only
you
hold one
technically?
person?
So who's
No,
riding
they look
Mitch?
large enough that they could hold 2 people. They're larger than horses, so they could easily hold 2 people. 3 might be a struggle. So who's riding with who? Because there's
It's alone.
5 of you.
Valakar can ride alone. Um,
I
I guess, I mean, if we have to, if 2 of us have to double up, Jed can go
Oh
with Chauncey.
no.
Okay.
Oh no!
So then
So,
Here.
Adrien, I guess that means you're riding with Lovey May.
oh, I forgot.
Oh
Because
I
you all
shit.
have
guess
to get
that's
Lovey May
weirder.
down.
Well, no, Lovey May is very sturdy, so she can hold anyone in place if they're worried about flying off the thing.
Fair enough.
The
There you
cold metal embrace of my doll encompasses you, because we need to have another moment.
Yeah, and Taily Po can be our little guide.
Yeah, she flies. So does the oh god, what's your raven crow's
Oh,
name?
what's his name?
Chrysanthus.
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 Yes. Oh my God, we got a whole thing. We have a whole thing.
I feel like a Ghibli movie.
I literally, that's what's in my head right now is like they're taking off from Laputa or whatever the fuck.
Oh,
It's just,
yeah.
you
There's
know,
just like this one moment where Chauncey's just like, so who's riding in front?
it's like a cross between Castle and Sky and Howl's Moving Castle when Sophie is escaping
Um,
from.
Kind of more of a side, actually.
which one of us has the better animal handling? I got a +2.
Oh,
How good are you with animals, Chauncey?
Can I do another animal handling check?
Yes.
I'm not very good with animals. I'm kind of bad.
I'll
Alright,
ride in the
I got a
front.
16.
That is good enough. These things are A-okay with just being told where to go.
Cool.
All
Go
right.
that
Do we just
way.
have dragons now? Can we just keep these?
We need to give them names if we're going to keep them.
Careful.
I'm gonna call this one Bubbles.
Call this one Bubbles.
All right.
So, yeah,
Okay,
also,
so
I guess importantly, who is riding on the red one that is Deacon Hubbard's personal dragon?
I feel like Jedidiah should do that.
Fine. Yeah. I'm red, it's red. Like,
Also, the fact that
and I
the
killed its
irony-
master.
Right, right.
All right.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of you ate its brain, so
Yeah,
you
right.
should know exactly how to ride that dragon. I'm just saying. Like,
I mean, if you want, I can.
Whichever one of you is worse at like animal handling, Lovey May will ride with to give them the help action.
well,
I got a 16. What did you get, Jed?
I think it
Valakar.
means score.
oh yeah, no, I got a 23 because they
So,
gave
yeah, I
me
think-
advantage and help.
Livia should go with Adrien then.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Yep. So, are you all riding these things to Drake's Ridge, or are you riding them to the ground at Alpine Springs and then riding them to Drake's
I feel like we
Ridge?
should notify the people there that they don't have to worry about it anymore.
Probably, yeah. As
I
much of a
mean,
pain in the
they
ass
can
as
figure it
that.
out for themselves. There's not a giant storm over them anymore.
Were there any rewards we were supposed to collect there?
I don't think
Probably.
so. Were there?
Nope. They just said that
oh.
you can have whatever in the Giant's Castle.
Okay.
I was gonna say Valakar's just patting the purse, like
Yeah.
The
Guess we just
bag.
got lucky they actually had shit in there for us.
It could have been a ransacked castle. You didn't
I would have
know.
been pissed.
All right. Yep. So you ride these things to the ground. I'm gonna say at this point it's probably because the rock flew faster. These things only have a 60-foot as opposed to the rock that has a 120-foot fly speed. So it takes you like twice as long to get to the ground. So it's probably going to be around 11 a.m. as you all fly into town square.
As long as we don't
Um,
have to deal with that living lightning again.
Very
Hmm.
true. Also, I just remembered you did take a wagon and cinnamon and
We did
sugar
take some
dust.
horses.
So,
So we should maybe go get the horses?
Fine.
God
Gertie would be
damn it.
mad.
yes, you land your dragonelles in the town square as people kind of ooh and ah as you get off.
Oh,
You
also probably should maybe.
Oh, could Lyla do an intro song for us?
I was
oh
gonna say just
turns
just
back into Lyla.
yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Mid-flight.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I just she lands at the horses and it's just suddenly she's there again. Like
Yeah. So as you're getting off, you do see um Tex standing outside of the Alpine Lodge with another person. They're incredibly tall. You probably have maybe only seen them, a creature like this, once. They tend to keep to themselves. It's a furbolg, the indigenous people of this land. They
Cool.
generally keep themselves on Big Sky, which is kind of their holy land that people don't really go to just out of respect, and a little bit in Amarillo. Um, but occasionally they come to other plates and talk to other people, as of course this is their land. Um, it seems like some of them do adopt clothing closer to what you all wear as opposed to their traditional garb, especially when speaking with people here. So they are kind of wearing like a poncho, but they're also wearing like almost traditional like cowboy stuff with a cowboy hat on. You do notice they have a very wide nose. They have this like sort of fuzz all over their face. They're gray. Um, they have like black nails, and they're just very sort of fuzzy. And you see this um you can't quite tell if they're male or female just by looking at them. But they seem to be conversing with Tex, who is leaning on Big Bertha as you all land.
Cool. Jed is Virgil now again, also.
Okay.
yeah.
Was he Virgil in town?
He was Virgil in
He
town.
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta re-up the
Yeah.
Yep. All
Gotta
right.
put my face on.
Of course.
Oh, amen.
Now,
Yeah.
Mr. Tex, it's good to see you again, and who's your friend here?
Oh, I see we haven't met. Um, my name is Sia. I've come here about the druid problem here.
Are you a fan of swinging on chandeliers? See ya.
God
Not
damn it.
particularly. I get that a lot.
God
Yeah.
damn it. I was not at all prepared. You caught me completely.
I don't particularly like it, but I do get that a lot. Not
Mhm.
exactly fond of that bard. Catchy
Well,
tune, but I fucking hate it. Anyway,
the problem with the druids was that old moose, right?
yes. Moss Gubbins, the hobgoblin witch. It seems she has made her way over to Big Sky and is beginning to cause problems over there. Um, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about her. My tribe believes that she is starting to deal with Mother Sequoia, which may be bad news. But fortunately, she is on our lands, and my tribe will deal with her.
Well,
Well,
best of luck.
yeah, definitely, definitely. We just came to pop back on by, say we handled that rock problem of yours. And we
I certainly hope so, says Tex, looking up at the basically clear blue sky. It also, of course, took you longer because you all moved the castle. So you see off in the distance the kind of storm cloud, but otherwise clear blue sky. You've moved it pretty far, actually. Um, but
just came on back to get our horse and carriage and make our way back to Drake's Ridge.
Mosey on back home, I suppose.
all right, well, be careful. Um, don't know what else is out there now that the rock's gone. Things might be crawling out from under the rocks down here.
Naturally.
And who knows what Moss Gubbins has left behind, seeing as how she left a gang of wolves and a moose. She's been quite busy. So who knows what else she's been dealing with. If she's been dealing with Mother Sequoia, might be some dark magic afoot too. If anyone would like to make a religion check, you may.
Why
Not,
not?
not terrible at those.
Fuck it.
Let's see.
I would
Why
say,
not?
Adrien,
Never
I'm going
mind.
to make yours at disadvantage just because it's been so long since you've been in Ponderosa. It's not going to be impossible, but it is going to be hard since you're more used to the City of Bats.
All right, so do I have to roll twice?
Take the lower number. Yep.
I got a 13.
All right,
13.
that's going to be a 7.
7,
I got
got an
16.
16.
18.
Oh, you know what?
18.
I'll guidance myself too. Hang on. 15.
So everybody in general, vaguely, Mother Sequoia is kind of an antagonistic force within local indigenous mythology. Adrien and I'm going to say Lyla, that's probably all that you get. Jed and Chauncey, while she is an antagonistic force, she is not evil. She is just mostly self-interested in the forest. Does not like humans meddling with the woods, does not like people going too deep into the woods. She believes that the woods are the woods and the people don't live in the woods. And she protects the woods very viciously. She can be dealt with. People, heroes in mythology have made deals with her all the time, generally in order to undo mistakes. The cycle goes, idiot goes into the woods, fucks with the woods, Mother Sequoia gets angry at all humans, hero goes into the woods, strikes deal with Mother Sequoia relents. That's generally the cycle of mythology.
Got it.
Chauncey, you would know that Mother Sequoia lives on Big Sky. While she is basically kind of considered god-like, she is not a god. She does not have omnipotence. She does not have omnipresence like a god might or theoretically could. Or like, oh, you must go to her or call her, and then she must come to you. Additionally, she can't be summoned into like the middle of a city because that's not her domain. You must go to her in the depths of the woods, which means that if Moss Gubbins is going to Big Sky, that's probably what she's doing. But the tribe said that they deal with her, as most indigenous folk do not deal with Mother Sequoia. She is too volatile and hates humans too much to really, or well, people in general too much to really deal with on a regular basis or worship. She's more of just a cautionary tale of why you shouldn't mess with the woods and mess with the balance of nature. And that's what you get.
Fun.
At least we're several plates away.
Yeah, and I suppose y'all said you don't quite mind handling whatever happens over there.
Yes. If she is indeed in our lands, my tribe's lands, we will deal with her. She might be powerful enough to awaken a beast, but if that's all she has, we have our ways. I must say good luck with your travels, and I will leave you to it, Tex, whatever you are doing here. Definitely get some rest. And this Furbolg turns and leaves. Well, I guess you found some stuff up there.
You did
Well,
all right. It
not
was
much. No, enough to hold us over till we get back home.
definitely.
All right.
So, not fucking
Now,
telling you.
Yeah,
now that
right.
the rock problem is over, could you organize a team of people to finish the lumber delivery that was disrupted?
Yep, that's probably what's next on my agenda today.
Yeah, I mean, Mayor Yvonne already paid up front, so
We paid a bunch.
Yep.
it would be a poor investment for us not to follow through on that.
Yep, I will certainly be asking around. Um, just keep an eye out on the way back. If you need to clear out anything, make sure you do. We don't have a lot of fighters here. Mostly just lumberjacks and big game hunters, and those skills don't exactly transfer over to monster hunt.
Translate. Yeah. Well, X, it has been a delight, I will say. But I think we got a mosey.
All right. Well, I will see you around. Maybe I'll make my way over to Drake's Ridge at some point if my leg gets better.
Do stop on by the new hair salon.
We have one of those now in Drake's Ridge for some reason.
Lots of
will.
things happening in our town.
I will
Ain't that
certainly
right,
consider that.
creature?
All right. So
And
I'm going to
we'll
say you all gather up your horses. How are you dealing with the dragonelles? Is the question, because you have your cart, you have your uh horses.
Well, someone can take the cart and the rest of us can fly. Are we keeping the dragonelles?
I think we should keep the dragonelle.
Yeah, I mean, having flying mounts is just, yeah, great.
Horse with a rickety cart, flying mounts.
I mean, if it's just like a horse, Gertie can take care of these probably.
Yeah.
That's actually a delightful idea.
You then remember distinctly reading a very specific book about dragon riders that Gertie was writing in her
Yeah.
room.
I think Gertie would really enjoy having dragons around.
Okay.
For no reason in particular.
It makes travel, I mean, much faster than just cinnamon and sugar dust. No offense. You
Yeah.
hat one, though Chauncey has a weird relationship with the horses.
All right.
So
So you all begin to make your way back. Because cinnamon and sugar dust, of course, go at the pace they go. Um, it's probably going to take you about the same amount of time, even though you have dragonelles that are flying, and eventually you will have to bed down for the evening.
okay, we.
Put up the dome.
I was gonna say, yeah, is this a tiny hut
Yeah,
situation?
we'll do a dome tonight.
Yep.
Little domey dome.
Late into the evening,
Ah, shit.
the dragonelles are sleeping quite nicely as some of you are up on watch. Who would be on watch?
I mean, I guess we'd take turns, right?
Yeah, so who would be on watch? Like, I guess second watch or so.
I'll take that.
Assuming, okay,
Adrien.
There you
all right. Assuming the night has about 3 watches or so. Yeah, I guess Adrien, you'll take the second one. It's probably about maybe 11:30 at night. The stars are overhead. The dragonelles are sleeping quite nicely. I'd like you to make a perception check.
That is going to be 14.
Don't you have an advantage on it now from your new shield?
Oh, wait, what?
You got that shield
if
that
you're
gives you
using the
advantage on
shield,
the
but I
perception
don't know if you want
checks.
to use the shield.
Well, yeah, you have to be holding it, don't you?
Yeah, you do have to be holding it.
Okay.
But if
I
you're
guess
just
I
So you're
will.
probably not holding the shield, so I'll take your 14. Whatever these things are, they're not sneaky. You see about 11 pairs of red eyes. Small, but visible in the darkness at the edge of the sort of clearing that you've settled down in. And they're kind of watching and shifting back and forth. You notice 2 of them are higher than the others, but it's strange because the eyes are the same size. The dragonelles at this point, one of them wakes up and starts making growling noises as it kind of gets up and gets into a battle position before all of you are probably woken up by this. The loud squeal of a boar as charging into the clearing are 2 boars on the backs of which are these strange tiny creatures. They have horns and tails and snouts. You all would probably be able to figure out these things are kobolds. And lurching out of the woods, it's strange. They're loping as if they're zombies.
Fantastic.
These things come loping out of the woods and they all head directly for the dragonelles. And that's where we're going to end this week's session. So join us next week as we deal with a little nighttime incursion. I will see you all next week.